Hi everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back to Sunshine Egg Donation Agency vlog. Today I would like to discuss with you how much the egg donation process costs, how much is the egg donor, why it's different in different countries, and what's the difference between frozen eggs and fresh eggs. Option number one is the frozen eggs. It's different in different countries and in different egg donor banks, but roughly it's around $400 per egg. So just count. You want to buy, for example, 6 eggs. 6 times 400, it's around $200 So how much is option number 2, the fresh egg donor? Again, it's depending country by country, egg donor by egg donor, but as an example, let's take Ukraine, Kyiv, and local Ukrainian egg donor. So the overall cost, including everything, is from $6,000. So what is included? What is the breakdown? Can we reduce the costs? And why it's so expensive? We have a lot of egg donors in our database, around 800 profiles. So out of 300 approximately egg donors from Ukraine, it's different. Some girls want this money, some girls want this money. So let's take approximately the egg donor compensation is $3,000. It's like a half of this 6K. So what else? Second, one of the most important and expensive points is stimulation fee. What is included into stimulation fee? First of all, it's the scans. She has to come to the clinic to see the doctor do the ultrasound scan. Sometimes we're allowed to do a video and we share this video with our clients. You can see the video of the ultrasound scan of the perfect egg donor in our last video. Second, medication itself. Usually we use gonal F for the stimulation from the beginning till the end. Sometimes it's we add menopur, but usually it's the gonal F with the dosage 2:5. Of course it's different and it's only doctor can say how many gonal she has to take from the first day of the stimulation till the last day. But it's 2:5, sometimes more, sometimes less, and it's depending on her AMH level. Number 3, it's the cetrotide to prevent ovulation and the trigger shot. Okay, the third thing is the blood tests. In different countries the list of the blood test is different, but mainly everyone requires HIV, hepatitis B and C, syphilis, genetic screenings such as karyotyping, scans of breast and other things. And again, please calculate around $500 to $600 for the stimulation. So we have $3,000 for the egg donor, around $1,500 for the stimulation, and around $500 for the blood tests. Okay, let's go next. The fourth thing is traveling. None of the egg donors live in the capitals, for example in Kyiv, or in Tbilisi, or in Moscow. They still have to travel. Many of you asking, guys, we take the egg donor from Ukraine. Why do you add the traveling cost? Because they have to come to the Kyiv. She may live, for example, 500 kilometers away from the clinic in Kyiv. So what we're gonna do? She can't go like every day 8 hours to get to the clinic and 8 hours to get back. No. We pay for the flight tickets sometimes for the train, sometimes for the bus. We have to pay for the accommodation, and we always pay daily allowance fee. So she has to buy some food for her, and we pay for it as well. Again, another thing, she has somehow get from the airport to the clinic, so we pay taxi or again bus tickets as well. So this is the traveling fees. If we're talking about some overseas program, it means when you book the egg donor from Ukraine, but you have the program in Cancun. Obviously, we have to calculate the flight tickets from her city to Kyiv, then from Kyiv to Cancun. If she starts remote stimulation, so we have traveling expenses in her country, in Ukraine, and then we pay for the travel expenses to Cancun. So this is the fourth part of the overall egg donation cost. Okay, number 5, it's the agency fee. Usually it's fixed. It's $1,500 that Sunshine charges. Sometimes it could be less, because sometimes stimulation could cost more than we predict. However, if we fix the egg donation contract from the very beginning, we don't charge anything else. So this is number 5. So okay, we have the cost of the egg donor. What else you have to pay? We have to get the egg somehow. So we have to pay for the egg retrieval procedure, which is usually done by general anesthesia. Actually, we never allow egg donors to go without general anesthesia, which happens in China sometimes. So it's general anesthesia, some standard word up for 2 hours, and the freezing fee. So clinic collect the eggs, they freeze the eggs, and you have also pay for the storage for 1 to 3 months until the eggs will be picked up by the courier and shipped to your country. The freezing fee, the egg retrieval fee, is also fixed in Kyiv. It's $2,500. You can pay it directly to the clinic. Sunshine is not involved into this price, into this cost, so you can pay it directly to them, and this is another thing you have to pay as well. But what if you don't decide to do the freezing? You want to do the IVF. In this case, there is no freezing fee. The freezing fee and the egg retrieval fee is usually the part of IVF. So if, for example, you decide to come to Kyiv for your IVF program and for your IVF cycle, you have to pay the IVF fee, which is different clinic by clinic. Some clinics charge more, some clinics charge less, but it's around $4,500–5,500 that you pay directly to your clinic. We are not involved into this process, and there is no Sunshine fee for that. You also have to pay for your travel expenses. You have to come to this country, so it's your flights and your accommodation and your transfers. So let's quickly summarize what is the pros and cons of having the fresh egg donor or just to buy the frozen eggs from the egg bank. If we are talking about the frozen eggs, obviously you don't know this person, you don't see it. If you take a fresh donor from us and even freeze the eggs, we provide the reports, the video of the scans, the photo of the egg donor from every appointment, from the beginning until the end with the egg retrieval. Of course, taking the fresh egg donor is more expensive just than book and buy like 6 frozen eggs. However, if the egg donor has 30 eggs, you get all of them. You may say, Alex, we don't need that much eggs. So many eggs, why do we need them? Sometimes the quality of the sperm is not that good. And for example, we get 30 eggs and get, for example, only 10 embryos or even less, maybe 6. It's not that much. However, if you just book the frozen eggs, you get 6 eggs and get 0 embryos. It's not good. So if there is an opportunity to take a fresh egg donor, you get as many eggs as she has. Yes, another thing is there is a risks for the egg donor and maybe something may happen. But again, it's quite rare, but you have to consider it. Another advantage of the fresh egg donor and known, not anonymous egg donor, we can do all required by you blood and genetic tests. For example, your partner or your husband has some genetic disease and you want to check the same genes from the egg donor. It's possible with us. We just ask her to do it, you get the result, and if everything is fine, you can proceed. But what if she's the same carrier? No, we can't take her. So it's another great advantage. That's it. Just to remind you, Sunshine has one of the biggest egg donor databases in the world. So please add your comments down below. Please write us. Please send your requests. All of the consultations are free. Thank you for your time and goodbye.